Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Erin's Book Club. I have another book review to do for you today, and apparently with the help from Willow. So the book review I have for you to do today is kind of like the last Herald Mage that I did, where there's 3 books in one. This is the same deal. There's 3 books in one in this book. It's currently naked, which is kind of why I'm going to do it step by step. So the review I have to do is Queen's Own by Mercedes Lackey, and it is the first book in, I think it's the Queen's Own trilogy, but there is 3 books in this book: Arrows of the Queen, Arrow's Flight, and Arrow's Fall. So the first book here is about the main character and how she is found and chosen by the companion that will be with her for the rest of her life. And it's interesting because I was really leery about reading this book, especially after I read The Last Herald Mage, because The Last Herald Mage I really enjoyed. It was really well done, and when things like that happen, I get a little bit worried because it's hard to live up to them. The Last Herald Mage was also very, very dark and hard to read, and I was afraid that she would do the same thing with this book. And she kind of did, but it was in a different way, and it was well done. It started off with Talia, who is this very young Holder girl who knows absolutely the bare minimal about companions and heralds and that kind of thing. So when Roland, her companion, comes to choose her, she at first doesn't know what's going on, and she thinks that she has to return this horse to the owner, because at the time, hi Willow, can we maybe not, there we go. At the time, she thinks that that's all companions are, is horses. And as we go further, of course, this is not going to be spoiler free. I never do spoiler free videos. And as she progresses into the cities and, on Roland's back into the Collegium, where she's going to learn how to be a herald, even in that little bit, she progresses from this very timid, very shy, very guarded little Holder girl to somebody who's a little bit stronger, still petrified of everything, but carries on. And then throughout the rest of the book, she grows into this confident, strong, wise, very young girl, in a very short amount of time, but it's done in a believable way. Really enjoyed it. Anyway, I've got a few notes here that I wrote down about the book that I wanted to go through with you. I wrote here that it was much lighter than The Last Herald Mage, however still very dark. It's particularly the one death in the end where the herald is ambushed, and then she made it sound like the body is mutilated. That was very dark and very hard to read, but still very well done. I do enjoy, and this is going to be hard for me to articulate, I do enjoy with this book when the main character, who at the time was still very young, I think around 14, 15, got into some really serious trouble about somebody who was trying to basically sabotage the queen, and if she could, assassinate even the Queen's Own, which is Talia, or even assassinate the queen's daughter. When they found that plot out and it got to be really, really difficult, instead of what you hear nowadays in books with ventures, instead of these children trying to figure it out on their own, they actually went to an adult, a parent figure, told the parent figure what was going on, and left it with the parent figure to deal with. And the parent figure actually dealt with it, and the problem was solved. And I appreciate that. That was like a breath of fresh air, because usually in books nowadays, the parents or parent figures aren't even there, and children are doing things that they honestly shouldn't be able to do in this quote-unquote caring atmosphere that the child has been adopted into. So I really enjoyed that. The growth, again, of the main character, absolutely amazing in a few pages. I think that it was only 216 pages, and the growth of that character from a very shy, fragile individual to somebody that even the queen leans on. So well done. Um, and it was funny because with the last Herald Mage, Vaniel could talk, like mentally talk to his companion in like a conversation, a conversational type of way. And at first, when Talia couldn't talk to Roland, they could only talk in feelings, like not even pictures, just emotions. I was really disappointed because I thought that the bond would be less because they couldn't have a verbal communication, and boy was I wrong. The bond was actually a heck of a lot stronger because the communication had the feelings to back it up, and they still knew what was going on. I'm glad I read it when I did because it really opened my eyes onto that. I think if I read it when I was younger, I still would have been stuck to this whole, well, if you can't talk to the companion, it's not the same. So I really enjoyed how that was done, and I loved how that they showed that was different than what the Last Herald Mage was, and the fact that the Last Herald Mage is part of this book, but it's like ancient history. That I really enjoyed because then I felt like the two of them kind of joined together. It felt really good. All in all, you know what? I really enjoyed the book. I'm excited to go into the next one. I'm actually a few pages into the next one already. I'm really enjoying Mercedes Lackey. I think I might look into more of her stuff. I know I have one called Dragon Joust, I think, that I'm actually going to reread because I remember I enjoyed that. I'm really enjoying this author. This author is comparable, I think, to the author of Dragon Riders of Pern. I think they're very similar in technique. It would have been nice to see a book written by the two of them, maybe having the companions and the dragons merge of some sort, but really, really enjoyed the book, and I guess that's all I have to say. Cats are getting impatient. I'm only allowed to talk for a certain amount of time, and then it's the cat's attention time. So I will let you guys know when I have another book read. Thanks very much.